Remember the smell of a BBQ, the smoky aroma that instantly takes you back to summer evenings with family and friends? BBQs are more than just food. They're about connection, laughter, and memories. But not all BBQ dishes have made it through the years. Some have quietly disappeared from our menus. Today, we're going to rediscover 8 BBQ foods that were once the stars of family gatherings and cookouts. These forgotten favorites might just inspire you to bring a bit of a BBQ history to your next grill session. Let's dive in. Smoked buffalo. Once upon a time, smoked buffalo was a rare treat that stood out at BBQ gatherings. With its rich, gamey flavor, it was the kind of dish that made people take notice, a true novelty in BBQ circles. Imagine the smoky aroma wafting through the air as buffalo meat, tough but full of flavor, slowly cooked over an open flame. It was a bold choice for those who wanted something different from the usual beef or pork, a way to show off culinary prowess and impress guests. But despite its unique taste, smoked buffalo never quite caught on like its more common counterparts. As BBQ traditions evolved, the demand for beef and pork grew, leaving buffalo to fade into the background. Today, while it's making a bit of a comeback among adventurous eaters, smoked buffalo remains a rare find, a flavorful reminder of a time when BBQ was all about exploring new and exciting tastes. And speaking of keeping these unique flavors alive, if you're enjoying this journey through forgotten BBQ dishes, why not hit that like button and subscribe? There's plenty more BBQ history to uncover, and we wouldn't want you to miss out. Barbecued mutton. Remember when barbecued mutton was the king of BBQs, especially in Kentucky? Yes, mutton, the grandpa of lamb, was once the star attraction at family gatherings and local fairs. Imagine a juicy, tender roast, slow cooked over an open flame until the meat was fall-off-the-bone tender. Sounds mouth-watering, right? The secret was in the special rub and that tangy vinegar-based sauce with a hint of sweetness, making it truly unforgettable. But as times changed, so did tastes. Lamb took over the spotlight, and mutton slowly faded into the background. Now, finding barbecued mutton is like finding a needle in a haystack. Rare, but absolutely worth the search if you're lucky enough to stumble upon it. Pork cracklins. Pork cracklins, those crispy golden morsels made from the skin and fat of the pig, were once a beloved BBQ snack across Southern America. Picture biting into that perfect crunch, followed by an explosion of rich, savory flavor. A true treat for the senses. Cracklins were more than just a snack. They were a staple at BBQs, a delicious way to make sure no part of the pig went to waste. But cracklins weren't just limited to the South. In the Philippines, they have their own version called chicharron, a popular snack often enjoyed with a tangy vinegar dipping sauce, or added as a crunchy topping to stews and soups. It's a dish that crosses cultures, loved for its satisfying texture and deep flavor. So, why did pork cracklins start to fade? As health trends began to focus on low-fat diets and healthier snacking options, the rich, fatty goodness of cracklins fell out of favor. People began to shy away from these indulgent treats in search of lighter, more health-conscious options. While still available in some places, pork cracklins are now more of a nostalgic treat, a reminder of a time when flavor reigned supreme over calorie counting. Barbecued rabbit. Let's hop back in time to when barbecued rabbit was a true star at rural gatherings. In areas where game meat was more accessible than store-bought cuts, rabbit was a go-to option for BBQ lovers. Imagine a tender, juicy rabbit, marinated in a tangy sauce and grilled to absolute perfection. Each bite a delightful blend of smoky flavor and tender meat that practically melted in your mouth. Back then, barbecued rabbit wasn't just a meal, it was a tradition. Families and friends would gather around the pit, sharing stories and swapping recipes as the rabbit slowly cooked over an open flame. It was the BBQ equivalent of a Sunday roast, but with an extra dash of rustic charm. So, what happened to this once-beloved dish? As times changed, so did tastes. The convenience of store-bought meats gradually took over, and the need to hunt or source game meat dwindled. Supermarkets stocked with beef, chicken, and pork became the norm, pushing rabbit to the sidelines. Today, barbecued rabbit is more of a rare find, a dish that recalls a simpler time when people made the most of what was available. Ever tried barbecued rabbit or curious to give it a shot? Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. If you're loving this trip down BBQ memory lane, make sure to like and subscribe for more. A barbecued tri-tip. Let's take a trip to California, where barbecued tri-tip once reigned supreme. This triangular cut of beef, nestled near the sirloin, was the pride of the West Coast BBQ scene. Back in the day, tri-tip was the star of many a cookout, known for its rich, beefy flavor and juicy tenderness. Seasoned with a simple rub, often just salt, pepper, and garlic, this cut was slow cooked over a wood fire, allowing the flavors to seep deep into the meat. The result? A mouth-watering, smoky masterpiece that was crispy on the outside and perfectly tender on the inside. Tri-tip wasn't just food. It was a regional identity, a dish that brought people together, whether at family barbecues or local fairs. But as much as Californians loved their tri-tip, it struggled to gain traction beyond the West Coast. Across the rest of the country, more familiar cuts like brisket and ribs took center stage, leaving tri-tip as a regional specialty that didn't quite make the leap to nationwide fame. Why did it fade? As BBQ culture spread and evolved, other cuts of beef, with their more universal appeal, overshadowed tri-tip. While it remains a beloved tradition in California, elsewhere, it's a bit of a hidden gem, something BBQ enthusiasts might stumble upon, and wonder why they hadn't discovered it sooner. Tri-tip may not be as well known as its beefy cousins, but for those in the know, it's still a cut worth savoring. Barbecued quail. Barbecued quail was once a gourmet BBQ delight, especially popular in the southern United States. These small game birds, with their tender, flavorful meat, were often marinated in a savory blend of herbs and spices before being grilled to perfection. The result was a succulent, juicy dish with a slightly gamey taste that was a true treat for the senses. Quail's delicate meat was perfect for absorbing smoky flavors, making it a standout at family gatherings and special occasions. As poultry options like chicken and turkey became more widely available and affordable, quail started to fall out of favor. The smaller size of quail, combined with the effort required to prepare and cook them, made it less appealing for everyday BBQs. Over time, quail became more of a specialty item, enjoyed by those with a taste for the unusual, but it's far less common on modern BBQ menus. Today, barbecued quail is a rare find, a dish that harks back to a time when BBQ was about exploring diverse flavors and traditions. Would you dare to try barbecued beef tongue? Let us know in the comments. Before we go ahead, barbecued venison. Let's journey into the heart of hunting communities, where barbecued venison once held a place of honor. Venison, or deer meat, was a prized BBQ delicacy, cherished for its lean, rich flavor. Imagine a cut of venison, marinated with a blend of spices tailored to enhance its natural taste, then slow cooked over an open flame. The result was a smoky, tender piece of meat that was both satisfying and nutritious, a true reflection of the land and the skill of the hunter who provided it. In these communities, barbecuing venison was more than just cooking. It was a celebration of the hunt, a way to gather family and friends to share in the bounty. Venison's unique flavor, with its slight gaminess, set it apart from more common BBQ meats, making it a special treat for those who appreciated the art of outdoor cooking. But as hunting traditions began to wane and the convenience of store-bought meats took over, venison started to fade from the BBQ scene. The rise of readily available beef, pork, and chicken made it easier for people to choose familiar options, leaving venison as a rarity. Today, while still valued by hunters and those with a taste for the wild, barbecued venison is a nostalgic nod to a time when BBQ was about more than just food. It was about honoring nature and tradition. As we wrap up our journey through BBQ history, let's take a moment to remember the 8 forgotten BBQ foods we've uncovered: mutton, pork cracklins, smoked buffalo, rabbit, and tri-tip, beef tongue, and venison. Each of these dishes once brought people together, filling the air with the rich aromas and flavors that made BBQs so special. If you ever stumble upon these culinary treasures, don't hesitate to give them a try. Who knows, you might just bring a bit of BBQ history back to life. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your own memories or experiences with forgotten BBQ foods in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories.